always love me some Wes Anderson. Hey movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner and welcome to my review of Asteroid City. Asteroid City is a recent sci-fi comedy written and directed by Wes Anderson, starring a huge cast, so many names to list: Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrien Brody, so many others. This cast is stacked. Set in 1955 in the fictional desert town of Asteroid City, where students and parents from across the country gather at a stargazer convention disrupted by world-changing events. Wes Anderson is one of my favorite directors working today that whenever he announces a new project, regardless, I'm immediately anticipating it. He is certainly a filmmaker that always comes to mind for me whenever I think of a one-of-a-kind filmmaker. From his incredibly distinct and unique filmmaking style and techniques, stunning sets and costumes, along with his symmetrical cinematography, and great ensemble of gifted actors. My favorite of his would definitely be The Grand Budapest Hotel. And my two runners-up would be Fantastic Mr. Fox and Moonrise Kingdom, both fantastic movies. And Isle of Dogs is also great. And his last film, The French Dispatch, I liked too, but didn't quite love it. And I got excited when I saw the trailer for Asteroid City. It looked like another great Wes Anderson film. And Asteroid City was one of my most anticipated movies of the summer. I did see Asteroid City in theaters at the end of June, but due to my busy schedule, I wasn't able to do a review of it. And I actually wanted to watch this movie again to confirm my thoughts on this movie. So I recently got this movie on Blu-ray and was excited to see how I would feel on a second viewing. On my first viewing, I thought Asteroid City was great and really liked it, was going to give it an A-, but on my second viewing of the movie, I still liked it, but again with The French Dispatch, I didn't quite love it. While I unfortunately don't think it's a top-tier Wes Anderson movie for me, I still think this is another really good and endearing addition to Wes Anderson's filmography as a filmmaker. Let's start this review with the pros. Right off the bat, as always with Wes Anderson, the filmmaking here is excellent. From the incredible production design that encapsulates the 1955 desert setting and costumes to go along with it, his usual camera work with his pans and zooms in, zoom out. And I also loved how Wes Anderson's camera work does a great job establishing the setting at the first half of the film. Gorgeous cinematography, whether in color at Asteroid City, or the gorgeous black and white scenes during the stage production of the film. And to mention the fantastic and whimsical musical score from Alexander Desplat. And he's always done a terrific job composing whenever he collaborates with Wes Anderson. That, as well as a great soundtrack with many great music choices that go along with the time period of the film. And the ensemble cast is all great. If I were to choose three standouts of this movie, I would definitely choose one of his collaborators, Jason Schwartzman, and I would say he would probably give it my favorite performance of the film, his character I was attached to the most and given the most depth, and another being Scarlett Johansson playing a famous actress there. And this is her first live-action Wes Anderson movie after voicing a character in Isle of Dogs, and she was great in this movie. And one final standout, and finally about time he joins a Wes Anderson movie, Tom Hanks as the grandfather. And he did a great job here with great emotional scenes as well. And the rest of the ensemble cast is great too and have their funny moments as well. From Jeffrey Wright, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrien Brody, Steve Carell, Liev Schreiber, Tilda Swinton. And luckily not a single weak link in the cast, and they're all great. What I liked about Asteroid City was that there was a good emotional core in the film and does have interesting themes to explore. How later in the film this movie focuses on grief, loss, loneliness, along with fear of the unknown and what our purpose is in the world. Especially a good emotional scene early in the film with Jason Schwartzman and his family letting them know that their mother died weeks ago. Even though I do have my issues with the third act in the film I'll get to, but a cameo for Margot Robbie I actually thought was one of the best scenes in the film. So I actually do like with the emotional core and the interesting scenes in the film, there were some depth in the film. And I also want to talk about one of my favorite scenes of the year, the UFO scene. I absolutely love that scene just from the cinematography and the way it was shot, the musical score, excellent use of stop motion animation, and has a great mix of surrealism and humor at the same time. Sadly, I do have some flaws with this movie. I will get to those right now. First, I was surprised watching this movie to see how it was structured. There was actually two movies going on in one. One is the stage production of Asteroid City with a playwright played by Edward Norton and a host played by Bryan Cranston. And those scenes are shot in black and white with a 1.73 to 1 aspect ratio. And the play scenes of Asteroid City are shot in widescreen and in color. And I do like how those two scenes difference were shot, which one's going on and how they were filmed. But my main issue is I didn't feel like there was a strong enough balance between those scenes scenes whenever they flowed. I found myself wanting to go back to more the Asteroid City scenes, want more than the play production scenes, because I felt like the color scenes were more interesting than the black and white scenes in my opinion. I felt like I was more emotionally attached to those scenes and engaged. And lastly, the third act of this movie, or mainly the way it concludes, I didn't feel like it entirely stuck the landing. Even though the black and white scenes were wrapped up, I was like, this is how it's wrapping up? It is leaving me with more questions than answers. Along with the film's conclusion, minus a few good emotional scenes, it did feel a bit rushed where I was like, oh, we're wrapping things up already? Okay. And I can kind of see that being the point of it, but it just didn't entirely work for me in my opinion. In conclusion, while I don't think it's a top tier Wes Anderson film for me, due to the story structure it could have been improved for me, and honestly I wasn't entirely satisfied with the third act of this movie or how it concluded, but I found Asteroid City to be a funny, witty, endearing, and entertaining addition to Wes Anderson's filmography. With stunning set and costume design, excellent musical score, good emotional core at its center, and a fantastic cast ensemble. Now, this movie came out on Blu-ray and DVD in the middle of August, and it's also streaming on Peacock. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, and if you're interested in checking it out, I definitely think you should check it out if you're a fan of Wes Anderson's work, and if you're looking forward to checking out this movie to see if you like it or not. Or if you are a little annoyed with Wes Anderson's style and you think it's the same old thing, and it's starting to get a little repetitive for you, I wouldn't really recommend this movie to you. So if I were to rank this movie in my Wes Anderson ranking, I would probably put it on par with The French Dispatch, similar to how I feel about that movie. Not only did Wes Anderson have this movie come out this year, but I heard he has a 30-minute short film that's going to premiere on Netflix with Benedict Cumberbatch, Ralph Fiennes, and Dev Patel. I'm looking forward to checking that one out whenever it premieres on Netflix. After 2023, I'm always excited to see what Wes Anderson has in store for his next movie, as I'm always continue to be awed in how unique, distinct, and unparalleled of a filmmaker he truly is. And I still find him to be a fascinating and a one-of-a-kind filmmaker. And now to grade it, I'm going to give Asteroid City 4 stars out of 5, a B+. I'm not sure if I see this being a memorable ensemble like the Grand Budapest Hotel, but I do find Asteroid City to be another solid and entertaining addition to Wes Anderson's quirky filmography. So a question I would like to ask you guys in the comments below, of the Wes Anderson films you have seen, which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And again, my favorite Wes Anderson film is definitely The Grand Budapest Hotel. I love that movie so much. It's just so hilarious. Such a great cast. Excellent movie. And another question I would like to ask you guys, what did you think of Asteroid City if you've seen it? Do you agree, disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it, are you looking forward to watching the film or not? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie? I want to see more reviews like this in the future. If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here. And don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.